everybody. Welcome to ABA Inside Track, the podcast that's like reading in your car, but safer. I'm your host, Robert Perry Cruz, and with me, as always, are my fabulous co-hosts.
Hi, it's Jackie.
Hey, it's Diana.
And we are joined here at the beginning of summer, June 2022, with this preview episode, bringing you all the previews of what's to come on a podcast about behavior analysis and behavior analytic research.
Sweet treats for June.
Sweet treats for June. Yes, many of our colleagues are taking vacations. You're getting some time at the beach. You know, you can put your little earbuds in. You're going to say, I'm going to listen to a podcast about behavior analysis and just relax in the sun. With our dulcet tones, you know it's relaxing.
I'd be like, hey, welcome to Beach Time ABA.
Yeah, there you go.
It's actually pretty good.
Thank you. I'm actually going to make Rob do that when I go to sleep every night. You'll be my sound machine.
Just physically.
Yeah.
Yes. So it is summertime, which means very little for podcasting because you can podcast all year long. So we'll be doing kind of our normal things. I don't think we have any fun summer bits. Baseball season's in play, so we got to keep this one quick because we have to go pick up children from baseball practice because, you know, busy times. But for those of you relaxing, enjoy hearing about all the episodes coming out over this next month. Diana, over to you.
Oh, okay, great. Well, we have...
And back to me. Hey, everybody. And back to you.
3 full-length episodes that will be coming out here in the month of June. And it's all pretty exciting stuff. So
Don't oversell it with that all pretty exciting stuff.
Pretty good. The first episode, I think, in the order, is going to be Joy and the Big Four, and we're very excited to have Dr. Shala Ala'i-Rosales, who's going to be joining us for that conversation. We're going to review 2 articles, or 2 pieces of material, I guess.
An article in a workshop.
Yeah, exactly. For that episode. So the article is titled The Big Four, Functional Assessment Research Informed Preventative Behavior Analysis. And that's by Ala'i-Rosales, Sehan, Courier, Ferguson, Leaf, McEachern, and Weinkauf, published in Behavior Analysis in Practice 2019. And then to supplement that, we also have a workshop by Dr. Ala'i entitled Nurturing Contingencies of Joy. And it's very beautiful, but you can't really see it in audio format. But just know that it was presented at the Oklahoma Autism Conference in 2021. Mm-hmm. So we're going to be talking about that with her, which is very exciting.
Yes. You'll find links, just as always, you'll find links to these articles. And we did have a link to the workshop from the Oklahoma page, so you can go see it for yourself. It's a very June 2022 image. Focused presentation.
Flowers.
Meant to be, joy-inducing. So
I thought it was about like the basketball conference. It's like, I have so much fun watching basketball, and I thought I'd publish an article about it.
Right? Well, like one time I went to a talk called Under the Dome, and it was about like statistical analyses. It was like under the dome, right, of the bell curve. Yeah, and a lot of people in the audience were like, we thought this was going to be about sports.
Oh, I thought it was going to be about the Stephen King book, Under the Dome.
Oh, no.
Yes, you got to read that abstract.
No. Also not. The next episode they were talking about, I can't remember what you've termed this episode, Rob.
Oh, I have 2 possible
What's your working
titles.
title?
I think it's either, I think it's Post-Apocalyptic ABA.
Okay.
or the classier, but I don't know, as earwormy, ABA in the post-apocalypse.
I hate the word earworm, so just never say that again.
Yeah.
And whatever else you want to call it.
Brainworm.
Nothing
so
warm
gross.
face.
Okay.
So over the last 2 years, there's been a whole bunch of new research that's come out sort of related to how the field of ABA has adapted and responded to the changes that COVID has produced. So we thought we would take a shot at reviewing some of that new research that had come out and, putting an overarching spin on it of what have we learned from this that may be applicable in the future.
In case of a different apocalypse.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we have
what did we learn? What should we remember for then?
5 different articles that we're going to review for this episode. And here they are. ABA Finding Its Heart During a Pandemic, an Exploration in Social Validity by Nicholson, Latzo Pearson and Shandy, published in Behavior Analysis and Practice, 2020.
I
Shandy.
love that, Finding Its Heart. When
Shandy's
I
a
read
good,
that the first time, I was like,
Yeah, right.
That's like a comic. Talk about social validity. You gotta have some phrase about
Yep.
finding your heart.
Exactly.
Shandy's, I think, a good author for this summer months.
Oh, yes, exactly. Next is Advocacy, Collaboration, and Intervention, a model of distance special education support services amid COVID-19. That's by Frederick, Rabe, Rogers, and Pizzica. Also in Behavior Analysis and Practice, also 2020.
You're gonna notice a theme with the years
Think I
and
might.
publication journal.
Next, Maintaining Treatment Integrity in the Face of Crisis, a treatment selection model for transitioning direct ABA services to telehealth. That is a solo production by Rodriguez, Behavior Analysis and Practice, 2020.
whew, all these people that were so good at doing things.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you spend so much time being like, what is there out there for research? I gotta put all my clients on telehealth all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Might as well publish an article because I had to write one just to make all these
Oh my gosh, there are 6.
systems.
I said 5, but there's 6.
I threw an extra one in there. It's
Ooh.
not super long.
Okay. An essential service decision model for ABA providers during crisis. That's by Colombo, Wallace, and Taylor, Behavior Analysis and Practice,
That one sounds good.
2020.
That one sounds really good.
Next, a comparison of telehealth-related ethics and guidelines and a checklist for ethical decision-making in the midst of the COVID-19 pandemic by Baums, Kolich, and Araiba. Behavior Analysis and Practice, 2020.
Ooh, we're reading the whole journal.
And then finally,
This is a combo breaker.
this is my edition,
Yes.
Caregiver Satisfaction with Delivery of Telehealth Autism Services by Pompa Craven, Tierman, Martino, and Latsvida. And that one is in Advances in Neurodevelopmental Disorders, 2022.
Ooh,
that's a really recent one.
Yeah.
'Cause I'd started reading the other ones and I sent everyone a text. That's a quick we work here at ABA Inside Track. I said, does anyone know
On the Slack.
if there's a survey about telehealth and whether people like telehealth? And I think I got that back from Diana.
Oh, I didn't respond.
And actually a while, because I sent that at 6 a.m. and I don't think you were awake
On a Saturday.
on a Saturday.
I was awake.
That's when I work. I was
That is
I was
not
surprised
the
you didn't write me
behavior that
back.
I want from my coworkers.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, I could look right now. I'm awake.
Oh, I got it for you.
He
Okay.
was texting me, let's be honest.
I mean, I pretty much figured who's going to get this first. It will be
Me.
Jackie, because I know what time
So
this is.
I had the sound on my phone so that I would then get the alarm later to wake up to take someone to baseball. And then the alarm went off at 6:15, so then I shut off the sound because I was like, now this is going to be an annoying 6:15 a.m. Saturday text chain between Jackie and Rob. So I turned off the sound and then almost missed baseball.
It's my fault. I'm so
It is.
sorry, folks. I apologize.
That was the point of the story.
I'm thinking, I'm working hard. I'm really trying to add content,
Mhm.
That's
you know,
really
put it all
funny.
together. Sorry about that. It's my bad. My bad,
All
everybody.
right. And,
Early worms. Early
stop.
worms. Sorry.
Oh, I thought you said earworms again.
No, I said
We're
early
early
worms.
worms.
No, early birds.
Oh,
Well, we get eaten if we're the early worms.
that's true. We're the first
You
one
don't
there.
want to be those early
Yippee.
worms.
I'm not good at those. If
Okay.
anyone's listened long enough, you know I can't get those.
No.
Whatever they're called, I never know them.
Idioms?
I find
Idioms.
Jackie not knowing idioms is a real earworm of the podcast.
No, it's not even how you use that gross word.
Okay,
Sorry.
go.
Okay. And then the last full episode that we're going to have for the month of June is on incidental teaching.
Can't
which
believe we haven't done it.
it turns out we've never
Shocking.
done somehow.
200 plus episodes and we
Before.
forgot that one.
And it's one of my favorite topics. So we're going to take it back and make sure we cover this one. And we have 4 articles for this episode. The first is the classic Incidental Teaching of Language in the Preschool by Hart and Risley, Java, 1975.
Hitting it.
You know, I think it's because we did the Meaningful Differences book club,
maybe.
Yes.
right? So we've talked about this topic in detail in that book, but we haven't had it as an episode. And then we will also discuss the effects of training on caregiver implementation of incidental teaching by Hsey, Wilder, and Abalon from Java 2011. An evaluation of the relative efficacy of and children's preferences for teaching strategies that differ in amount of teacher directedness, and that's by Heel, Hanley, and Layer, Java 2009. And finally, promoting reciprocal interactions via peer incidental teaching by McGee, Almeida, Solzer, Azaroff, and Feldman, and that's also in Java, 1992.
Hitting all the decades there.
Yeah, it's really quite
it's
a
really
span.
just a span.
For sure.
Excellent. Thanks, Dinah.
And then you can tell us about our...
Yes, you might be listening and saying, that's only 3 episodes. You guys taking a summer vacation? Not us. Not us. I mean, we are, but you won't notice because we record episodes so that we have one for every single week. But we also sometimes like to throw in a little bonus. I think we might have 1 or 2 more coming this summer because they're fun to do, but they're not exactly in the theme of the show. But this was a case where I had to have a guest on, and anytime I can have a guest of interest on, because life is now content in our crazy mixed up world, I said, well, how can I make this fit on the podcast? So some background material on our bonus episode. I had a minor surgery, and I read a lot of books, and one of them was a book my mom gave me for Christmas called It's All a Game, because as you can see, we 2 out of 3 guests or hosts of the ABA and Set Track podcast.
I also bought you that book.
Love games. Oh yes, I got 2 copies of that book. I forgot.
Hilarious.
Yes.
I almost bought that for your birthday.
Did you? That goes in line with the string of years, Diana, where you and I got each other the same Christmas present.
We did. We have several pictures holding the gift.
It's very cute.
We got each other.
Very cute. But in any case, it was the history of board games, and one of the chapters focused on board games in the now, recent board games, and in it, the author Tristan Donovan interviewed the owner of a game shop in Brooklyn who had after-school programs where he taught children games, which, okay, that sounds fun. That's a minorly entertaining topic, but not really a fit for the podcast. Hold your horses, folks. Who runs this game store but a director of research, a neuroscientist who used his knowledge of learning and the brain to think what games would match with learning styles and advance some of these, had kind of a pilot and was looking at, results and social validity results of some of these after school programs, and actually noticed, some children who had, disabilities or more executive functioning disabilities were really starting to learn through the repetition and the structure of the after school board gaming programs. They started doing RPG groups. And I said, I'm going to email this guy right now, and I'm going to see if he wants to be on our show. And he was so gracious. And our guest for a bonus episode on teaching using board games, Dr. Jon Freeman from the Brooklyn Strategist, which is a game store in Brooklyn. So
that sounds very fancy.
I know. I probably would have just done the episode if it was like, I want to talk to someone who owns a game store. But the fact is, a neuroscientist who used to be a director of research before opening a game store.
This is like your dream.
It fits. That's like I'm thinking about I want to do that. I keep thinking I'm gonna re-email him back. When the episode comes out and be like, by the way, yes, but he was very gracious with his time. We talked all about, the kind of neuroscience, which I know sometimes some people don't like neuroscience, but sort of how it relates to learning and the use of board games in learning and some of the benefits that he's been seeing. No published research from it yet, but I had a great time having that conversation, and we hope you do too. So again, bonus episode, because it's a little off track, but not so much.
Cool.
I just had fun telling that story too. Thanks,
I just
everybody.
love that if you would have bought me the history of board games as a book, I may have just fallen down immediately out of boredom for me, right? I don't even like playing board games.
No.
I can't even imagine reading one.
You've played board games, though.
I know, I have. I'm getting a little better.
Okay. Good. Because I want to do some more board game stuff.
Okay, great.
Yay. All right, so that fills up June. 3 full episodes and a fun bonus episode to celebrate the summer. We also may be having, so for those of you who don't know, we have a Patreon page where we do bonus activities for our patrons. We're going to have, this month, we're going to have a live poll coming out pretty soon. So when this comes out, I think it'll probably be coming out for you probably in another week or 2. If you're getting this on the main feed, it may already be out if you want to go check it out. But we ask our patrons to vote on topics of interest, and we have 3 choices, which I closed that window. So I'm going to try to remember what they were.
Mm-hmm.
They were...
Facilitated communication.
Thank you, Jackie. Facilitated communication. Writing meaningful IEP objectives for transition. So kind of a follow-up to the episode we did with Dr. Kong and Dr. Menente about preparing for adulthood, and some other episodes we've done on transitions and transition-related services. So
episode 201.
Yes, that's 201. But preparing, so IEPs for transitions for adults. And a very popular topic, even though it was an episode we did like almost 200 episodes ago. More recent research on ADHD and ADHD treatment. So those are going to be the 3 options. So if you are a patron at any level, you can go to our webpage, patreon.com/ABA Inside Track, our Patreon page, and you can vote on which episode you would like us to do. And then we'll do that on a live episode for patrons. If you can't make it to live episodes, we videotape those and you can get a free CE for listening. Again, if you're just listening on the free feed, you can just sit back, relax, and figure out what it is, and that episode will probably come out. It will come out in July for the rest of you. But if you're like, I can't wait, I need to know and vote, then you better head on over to patreon.com/ABA Inside Track. You also might find, we haven't figured out the logistics of it, a bonus Q&A. Usually we do those live, but a Q&A with Dr. Megan Martineau, who was on our show talking about sustainability a few months back, and was gracious enough to say we should get together at ABAI and talk with her and hopefully Dr. Susan Schneider about sustainability and how we can make more of an impact to support our environment using behavior analysis. So again, no details in this episode because at the time of this recording, we haven't had that recording yet, and we haven't done a distance recording in a long time because of pandemic. So we're not sure. It might all fall apart, and then I'll just have to, record something with Dr. Martineau later and post it. But there should be something fun there, but it's only going to be for Patreon members. So a lot of cool stuff there, even with the summer. It just never ends.
I have two listener things I want to bring up.
Please do.
To round out the episode, to finish it off.
Great.
So, this is hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
So, a listener put this on her Instagram. She said she's listening to episode 201, so that's the adult services one.
Whoa.
Of at ABA Inside Track. Rob said Jason, the name Jason, and she looked up, and the car in front of her had a picture of Jason from Halloween?
Friday the 13th.
Friday the 13th on the car in front of her.
What
And
are
she
the
said,
odds?
Maybe if you say it 3 times, Candyman will show up. I just think that's so funny, right? Because
I love when people send us stuff like that.
Yeah, those are my favorites.
Another thing about episode 201, our listener Allison said that she listened to the episode and it spoke so much to her. She started working out in adult services and now she's working with children. She just loved how it was pointed out that working with adults gives us a perspective, what's important for the children we work with to learn over time so that they can live whatever type of life they want. So she was so thrilled and shocked by the amount of services provided for children, right? And feeling sad because of the lack of services provided once they become adults.
Yeah.
So she said, thanks for putting that on. She's really passionate about this in the field. And it's good that more people are going to know about it. So.
Oh, thanks, Allison.
Yeah, so
very much,
episode 201, hitting it home. We got a Jason. Yeah.
Awesome.
Those
It was the
things.
most inspiring and terrifying episode we've done.
Can I just add one thing in case people are listening to this?
Just in case.
Just in case people are listening. So many people, I think, go to the website and go to the tab that says Get CEUs and order through the website that way. We ran out of room on that tab. Apparently it holds 200 things, and now we have more than 200 things. So people have started emailing to say, I can't find how to order episodes 195 on. There's a second tab that's at the top called More CEUs. And that is where all of the more recent episodes are going to be if you're trying to directly get to the page to order the episode for a CEU. And that's how you do that.
Yes, but another way you could get episodes is either by subscribing to the show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or Stitcher. And every time you can just scroll through all the episodes we've done, all of those pages, and that part's a lot, but all of those pages have a link directly to both the articles that we discuss and links to purchasing CEs if you are so inclined. So that's another quick way to do it. We also have a previous episodes tab in which we clumped our episodes by topic. So if you're like, I want to hear about stuff that is like way off, sort of the basics of ABA. Well, we got an off the track section. I want to hear episodes that are crazy and weird and have nothing to do with research or maybe not a lot to. Well, those would fit like under the bonus. Although those actually do have a lot of research behind them as well.
That's not us.
I know that's not really us. I want to talk about hot topics. So topics are maybe related to issues, modern day issues. Okay, we got a tab for that. I want ethics. I want supervision. We got tabs for those. So there are a lot of different ways you can find episodes. We have a search bar too. It doesn't always work perfectly, but that's always an option.
But honestly, you can Google ABA Inside Track and then the topic, and they'll pop up.
How long have we been doing this show, folks? Enough that anytime we think of a new episode that we can't remember if we've done, we have to type in ABA Inside Track and whatever episode we're like, should we do one on that? Just to double check. Because it wouldn't be the first time that we started preparing for an episode we'd already done.
Do that, yeah.
I remember that time I was like, I have all these great articles I think we should talk about. I put them all in the folder, and I made notes for all of them, and you're like, we already did these. I'm like, we did?
You know, yeah. Yep. It's a good chunk of work to recreate an episode.
But I look back and it was very similar. So I have similar note-taking styles.
If we run out of episodes, do you think we could go back to our original ones and just re-talk about them, having learned so much in the previous years?
We definitely could.
Like infant behavior, revisited.
I know.
All right. Well, speaking of how you can subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Stitcher, I guess that's the end of the episode, so it's time for some plugs. I already plugged patreon.com/ABA Inside Track, where you can find all of these episodes a week ahead of time, as well as extra bonuses. If you are subscribing there at the $10 and above level, you might have checked out our recent The Nurture Effect Book Club, good for 2 CEs at no additional cost, as well as access to all of our book clubs. If you really want to wait, they eventually come out in the free feed, but I mean, 2+ hours of awesome content with no additional CE processing fees. Come on, folks. It's a steal in the field of behavior analytic related books discussion from us and our friend Alan Haberman. You can also find us on social media where, again, if you find me saying things and having you leading to terrifying experiences or inspiring ones, book club please do follow us on the socials as ABA Inside Track. And if you have any feedback, thoughts, or episodes that you want us to add maybe in a future poll, abainsidetrack@gmail.com. And of course, you can find all of our episodes on abainsidetrack.com because we just...
One of the 2 tabs.
There's a bunch of tabs you can look for. We spend a lot of time on web design. I don't understand.
CEUs 1, CEUs 2.
Yeah, me too.
Okay.
And they'll help people.
Will that help people?
Yeah.
Okay, that would also require some level. We'll talk about it later. There's a lot of behind the scenes updates. We're planning anyway.
Everybody wants to hear that.
They want to hear it. Let's just sit and talk about it.
Before we leave, I want to tell everyone how excited we were to see you at ABAI. So thanks for coming to say hi to us. I love the elevator. Hey, so thanks.
All right, well, that's it for our June 2022 preview. We'll see you back here next week for our, I think we're starting off with a bonus episode, actually. So starting off right with a fun bonus episode with Dr. Jon Freeman, followed by all of our fabulous full-length episodes. But until then, keep responding. Bye!